last night I went to the Real Jack. You're gonna see some videos like popping in. But yeah, last night I went to the Real Jack for the first time and it was a huge success. It was a lot of fun. My friends and I had amazing food, as per usual, because I'm pretty biased when it comes to Caribbean food. Caribbean food is the bomb. But I think most people could probably say that about their own cultures as well. But it was so good for a number of reasons. And more than anything, it was a great way for me to enjoy somebody else's food for a change that's Caribbean rather than my own. And it was also a great way to remedy the homesickness that I've been feeling a lot, especially over the last few years. The homesickness has just kind of rooted itself in me and it's been really annoying. It's probably the best way that I could put it. I have been dying to find Caribbean things, so slowly but surely a few of my friends have been showing me to the patty stores and stuff around the city, which has been great, especially over in Kensington Market. And it's so nice to know that there is a huge Caribbean community and presence here in Toronto, which is fantastic for me, because it means that whenever I'm feeling homesick, especially for more of the family side of things, I can always just get food or get items and things and feel a bit more normal and feel a bit more happier within myself. It's been almost 4 years since I've seen my family, partly because of the panorama and partly because I'm in what I call my immigrant struggle job, so I don't exactly make money. I can't just sort of like get up and then just go fly and see my family whenever I want, as I hoped. So I've been trying to find as much as I can as far as like British things, Caribbean things, where and when I can, whether it's through snacks, food, days out to particular locations, you name it. I've just been trying to find those little things, those little quintessential Britishisms and Caribbeanisms that would make me feel like I haven't just lost everything. Does that make sense? So on the one hand, it's fantastic to know that I'm now living in a completely new country and I'm learning as much as I can. And the best way to get to know Toronto and to know the country that I'm living in is to dive into all the books that I'm reading, to understand the history, the various cultures that have come together, to try and sort of get as nitty and gritty as I can and get as intimate as I can with the city. But on the other hand, I do miss home. I do miss being around my family. I do miss the food. I do miss my friends, like a lot. Like I miss them so much. There's just something about being able to sort of experience Toronto as a new person that kind of comes with a lot of, I wouldn't say pitfalls. Pitfalls is a bit of a strong word, but it comes with a lot of realness, I guess you could say. So in my head, but before I got here, I had this whole fairy tale idea of what it would be like to assimilate and to be part of Toronto and to be part of Canada as a whole. But the reality is that if you have problems in the UK, you tend to bring them with you. If you find that you're homesick, eventually you will learn how to get over the homesickness. There are things that you're going to miss about home that I'm sure you'll be able to find alternatives on in your new country. The thing that made it kind of worse for a lot of people, including myself, was that the fact that we all then went through a big panorama, and it meant that a lot of us were unable to see our friends and family for anywhere from 18 months to 2.5 years. So during all of that, for me anyway, it's been a very isolating and a very lonely experience. And while I had made friends who did understand, because they themselves have traveled and worked in different countries over the years, it was always nice to be able to go and talk to them and ask them about their experiences. But at the same time, the majority of people haven't done what I've done. The majority of people haven't gotten up and just said, screw it, I'm gonna go and live in France for a year. Not a lot of people have done that. But when I do come across people who have traveled, who have worked overseas, who have given up everything, to try and put down roots and put down their anchors in a different place they can eventually one day call home, it's it's quite strange. I'm aiming to find more of those people so that we can all sort of have conversations and have those times where we can come together and spend time at a restaurant and just do little things and like take little bits from each other's cultures. It just meant the world to me. And I've got puffy eyes because the homesickness really did hit me. The upside is that here I have managed to make friends with people who are interested in my culture. They are interested in where I come from, and the various cultures that make up my DNA. And luckily a lot of them are foodies, so they're totally down for going out and just doing something as simple as me, you know, messaging them one day and saying, hey, I'm really craving a patty, can we go get a patty? And they'll be like, yes, let's make a whole day of it. And then we can just go have some fun. And it's so nice. It seems like such a small thing, I guess, maybe to them, maybe to other people, but to me, it's a really, really, really big deal. And I'm so grateful to be in a position where I have actually met people who love different cultures and love getting out and love doing things. And I love the fact that at the moment, one of their little side personal projects is to help me assimilate in the city. So I'm very grateful and very thankful for the time that I had last night and previous days out with friends. And I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I'm very excited. The homesickness, unfortunately, is something that I'm just going to have to deal with until I am fully integrated and a bit more acquainted with the city itself. Because at the moment, even though I've been here for almost 4 years, I'm still new and it still feels like a vacation sometimes. So it's very strange. But there's a lot that I still want to do. There's still a lot that I'm having to process and deal with emotionally as well as mentally. And like I said, not many people know what this is like. And when I have been able to meet people who have gone through experiences like I have, it's always great to know that they've made it. So therefore I know that I'm going to make it. And I just have to take each day as it comes. So I'm going to go because I've got to go to work and I don't want to cry. I've already spilled solution on my shirt and I don't want to remove it from my face, so I'm going to crack on with the rest of the day. I just wanted to check in and have a real somber moment with you. Okay. So I went out for my blood work this morning at the hospital. It was very quick. I was in, I was out. And the weather, surprisingly, has actually been really nice. It's going to be up to, I think we're supposed to be getting highs of about 12 to 14 degrees Celsius in a couple of days. So I'm quite excited to experience that because it's been a while since we've had anything in the double digits, at least in the positive double digits. So I'm actually looking forward to that. The only downside, it's going to be raining and I'll be back at work. So I don't think I'll be able to truly enjoy it the way that I would have preferred to, but it means that there'll be people out and about. So I'll be able to do a little bit of socializing, which will be nice. Whew, I don't know why I'm tired, but I am tired for some reason. At some point today, however, because the weather is not too crazy, I think it's about 6 degrees Celsius right now, feels like 2. I'm kind of tempted to go down to the beach, just make my way over there and just kind of take a little while and sit and read my book. But I haven't been down there since the day after my dog died. So thinking about traveling all that way to get there is filling me with a sense of purpose and excitement because it's like a mini adventure that I'll be going on. But at the same time, it kind of fills me with sadness because I don't have my dog with me. It's always so nice to sort of go down there, especially earlier in the day, and just walk around like the grassy areas and like the parks nearby and stuff. And then just kind of go down close enough so you can hear the water, because she wasn't a fan of the water. But when I look back at old pictures and stuff that I'd taken down there, it's like, she was usually in most of the pictures or the videos. So it's kind of sad to think that I haven't been down there since she died. So I'm kind of having to sort of like muster up, I guess, the courage to go down and continue exploring and seeing things and experiencing things, knowing that she's not there to experience them with me, or at least be there as my my anxiety buffer. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If I manage to get down there, I don't think I'll be there for long. I think I'll probably just come home after about an hour or so, but I'll see. I'll just wrap up and just carry my book. But with that being said, this is the book that I'm currently reading right now, because it's the month of February. It's the month of love. I am still currently reading this, the Toronto Book of Love, and I have made quite a bit of headway with this, but for some reason, I've just been really distracted by all things Tolkien. So I was like, screw reading in any particular order. So I just jumped straight into Beren and Luthien. And so far, I'm absolutely loving it. It's such a romantic story so far. I'm only in, I want to say, chapter 2 of the Beren and Luthien section of the story. Oh my God, it is so adorable. It's such an adorable book. And there's like an evil cat in here who I'm guessing, judging by the descriptions, is an evil black cat with menacing eyes that Melko is like really good pals with, because this cat is like the prince of cats. And I always forget when I come across these passages about gigantic cats and werewolves and vampires and stuff, I forget that all of that is actually within the lore of the Legendarium. So it always takes me by surprise every time. It's like, is that a werewolf? And it's like, oh, God damn it, it's a werewolf. And it's like, it just kind of throws me. I always forget. So I don't necessarily want to start Unfinished Tales anytime soon, although I'm being really tempted by it. So in the meantime, just because it's the month of love, I'm currently reading Beren and Luthien. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that very well. There you go. I swear I have ADD. I just remembered I was talking about the cat. I just wanted to give you the cat's name. That was it. The cat's name is Tevildo. And I don't know why. I just kept saying to myself as I was reading his name over and over in this particular passage that if I ever get a black cat, I'm going to probably give him the middle name Tevildo. I don't know, because it's an evil cat. But Melkor is also kind of like a bomb name too. So it's like it's evil, but it's kind of cool at the same time. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. I think it's absolutely adorable. And if you've never read this book, I would highly recommend checking this book out. My husband is just finishing up lunch, so I'm gonna get going. But at the moment, I think I'm just gonna continue reading this, and then I will see how far I go as far as making decisions about going to the beach. So I don't know, I want to go to the beach, but I'm also just so full of sadness. It's such a hard decision. This is why it's always good to sort of like get out there and like socialize a little bit where you can. I think it will just be good just to get out, and if I bump into anybody, I can just sort of say hey and play catch up and see what happens and maybe sit and read. But I don't have my anxiety buffer with me anymore because she's gone. She's gone into the land of rainbows and other dogs. And it makes me feel sad. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see how far I get. It's just too sad, so I'm not going to go to the beach, but I got 2 new items, which is nice. I have like several of these sweaters. I'm one of those people that I like to make sure that things kind of match. And if I find a particular outfit or a piece of clothing that fits my body shape and type, because it is so abnormal, if there's more than one color, I just get more than one color of the same thing. That way I technically don't run out of my favorite style. I might just run out of certain colors. But so far, these are my absolute favorite sweaters. Yay. So this one is the perfectly oversized crew from Lululemon in the color Wild Indigo. That was my husband, sorry. They cover all the areas that I want to hide until I'm able to have surgery. And they're just really comfortable and they're really soft and they're just really great. And I always size up because once you do wash them, they will shrink at first, but then as you wear them for a few hours, maybe for 2 days, it will kind of stretch itself back out again. But I also just like the fact that when they're a little bit bigger in size, again, it just covers and hides everything that I don't want people to see. So I've got that, Wild Indigo. I don't know if I've ever worn the red one on camera before, but I do have a red one that has a sort of like an art design all over the front and a little bit on the side, all designed by an artist whose first name kind of escapes me. I think it's Justin Broadbent. And I do love it, but the colors are very wintry. That's probably the best way I can put it, wintry or Christmassy. So I just needed something to replace that red one so that I could only wear the red one in winter or around Christmas time. For the rest of the year, I think it's just too wintry or too Christmassy to wear. So I just needed something a bit more subtle. And at the same time, I'm also trying to venture into the world of color. So this is a color that I would normally never buy, but I'm slowly learning as time goes by that I can stay far away from bright colors and pastel colors because they're just not my thing unless it's nude tones. And then at the same time, I'm embracing this love of darker colors and sort of like navy sort of colors and more dark neutrals. That way my wardrobe isn't entirely black, and it also means that when it comes to doing laundry, it should be fairly easy. I just separate light colors from dark colors, and that should be fine. So this is a color that's a little brighter than what I would normally go for, but I'm giving it a go. I don't think I've ever worn anything this bright before in my entire life, but it's still got like a nice sort of neutral to blue undertone to it. So I think it would still be something that I can get away with because I have fairly neutral undertones myself. So I think it's something that still looks like I could match it up or dress it up with various outfits and things. So I think I'll be okay. But as far as the color is concerned, I don't know. I'm going to just type in Wild Indigo on Lululemon's website and just see what they have on offer. And see if I feel... No. I'm trying to convince myself to get some Wild Indigo leggings. I'm never going to do it. It's never going to happen. I think this is about as far as Wild Indigo goes in my wardrobe. I think this is it. And then I got a new sports bra, which is nice. It's in my favorite color, which is Red Merlot, which is this lovely red. It's a color that I tend to get quite a lot of. So I have it in a scuba. I have it in my my 2-liter bag that I got recently, or like sometime before Christmas. And I've got another Olympic everywhere belt bag where the strap is Red Merlot because red is my favorite color. So I thought, why not try and expand my wardrobe a little bit more and include colors that I do genuinely love. So Red Merlot just happens to be the right shade for me. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill today. I'm gonna read, like I said, and just catch up on a few things and just chill out and just see what happens. At the moment, I'm watching a few videos on other people's experiences of how they deal with the negative aspects of moving to a different country, and also what it's like to navigate an entirely new world when you don't have very many friends. So I think today is just going to be written off as a bit of a sensitive and emotional self-care day. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on. Just facing my demons and my emotions and just going with the flow. So back in my bubble. Okay, it is like minutes to 8 in the morning. I am rushing out to get to the hospital so I can have my treatments for this month, and today is the last day before I go back to work, because other than my health and like my flare-ups and things and appointments, I'm at work every day. So I need to make as much money as I can, because there comes a point where there's like an entire week where I'm not making any money whatsoever because I cannot move. But update. My health seems to be getting a little bit better. I'm now booked to see a specialist who I've been waiting to see since all of this really went crazy last summer. So I'm finally able to see someone very soon, which I'm looking forward to. So that'll be hopefully one of the last aspects of this health issue that I'm dealing with, or at least one of my main health issues that I just need to get under control. And I'm hoping that if everything goes well, they'll be able to suggest, alongside my family doctor who I now have, which is really exciting, that I can have the option to have surgery. So I'm hoping to have surgery to deal with this other major issue, which I believe is the root cause of everything that I have been dealing with. So I'm going in for my treatments this morning, and then when I get home, I'm most likely, it'll probably be around about 11, 12 by the time I finish. So by the time I get home, I don't know how I'm going to feel as far as like eating or staying awake or my nausea is concerned. So I'm probably just going to try and chill for at least an hour or two after. So I'll probably just read, or I'll probably just nap, because I was really excited about going into the hospital today. Don't ask. And at some point I need to try and push myself to play catch up. I need to catch up with the physical aspect of journaling, because I've been journaling stuff on my computer, but I actually need to physically write them out and go into detail about certain things before I can put new stickers and stuff in, because I got some photos from the jerk evening that I had with the girls, and I can't put those photos in my journal until I've written all the previous entries to catch up. So there's that. And then there's also the fact that I have just been avoiding my main whip, which is the Wormwood Witches urban fantasy series that I have been writing. I have gotten to a point where I hit a roadblock quite a few months ago. And while it's been fine, not the greatest time for me to write and work on other whips, Wormwood Witches has really stumped me. And I think I figured out why. But whether I knew why or not, I think I'm at that point where I need to accept the fate of that series. I don't think that series is going to go ahead, but I have fleshed out so much of the world and so much of the characters that I feel like I could probably just recycle the characters and put them into a completely different story. I don't know yet. So I will see. I will see if I get anything done today. I did film a bunch of videos explaining what was going on for my author channel, but I never edited them and I never uploaded them because I've just been so in denial and so kind of annoyed with this particular whip. So I don't know what's happening, but I'm hoping that I get some sort of like creative streak, because while I sit and have my treatments, I can use one hand. The other hand, depending on where the needles go in, I don't have a lot of movement or mobility with, because I'm scared that if I move too much, everything's going to come out. And I don't want that to happen. So I don't know. If I don't end up reading at the hospital, I'm going to try and see if I can get on to writing and rehashing ideas for these three main characters that I have. It's tiring. Honestly, it's very weird, but I will see. So thank you for making it this far in the video if you have already. This video was supposed to be about friendship, but it kind of didn't turn into that because, as you can probably tell, I don't really go out because I'm either working or I'm too sick to. But I am very grateful for the friends that I do have. I'm very grateful for my husband being in my life, because honestly, having to go through a lot of this stuff that I have to go through, like with immigration and homesickness and grieving and all this sort of stuff, for the most part, I do have to deal with that all on my own, because most people don't know what that's like. But when I need my friends or my family for anything else, I can always turn to them for other things. It's just everything else I deal with by myself, and it actually gives me a lot of strength and a lot of willpower to keep fighting and to keep going and to keep trying my best every day. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop saying so and yeah, and just get out, because I'm super late. All right, bye.